and they win the NFC South.
I was just happy to be watching Bucs football yesterday and to win on top of it. It looked like they were going to let it slip away. It looked like it was going to be one of those moments where it's just like, that happens to the Bucs, but new culture. We prevailed. The Bucs win 17-14. Not that that really matters. It matters to the players on their team, putting that effort out there trying to make the team, but in terms of the big picture, it doesn't matter that much. But what does matter is the performances that we saw on the field, and we saw a lot of good performances from a handful of players. And with the starters not starting, it was majority first-year and second-year guys out there. There were a couple guys here and there, like KJ Britt was starting. Cody Mock, he is a second-year guy, but he is a starter. He was playing. So there was a couple guys here and there, but majority, you're looking for the rookies. You're looking for those second-year guys, and pretty much all of them, I thought, put on pretty good tape. So we're going to focus on the rookies today because that's what, the team's focus was going into it. It was all about the rookies. On the broadcast, that they made that very clear. We're looking at the rookies. Coach Bowles, even before, said starters not playing, but all of the rookies are playing. So that's what we're going to make this focus for on this video. And before we get into that, a couple guys we got to shout out. Kayvon Merriweather, we saw him in that first quarter. These first three highlights I show you are all Kayvon Merriweather, and he played at certain points last season, the whole Ryan Neal thing, so that went downhill very quickly. So Kayvon Merriweather throughout the season got more and more playing time. He was a rookie, undrafted rookie, not too many expectations. I thought he played all right given those expectations, but showing up in this first quarter here in the first preseason game, Kayvon Merriweather, great stuff. So next, let's go into another second-year guy, and that's going to be Payne Durham. Tight ends in this offense have a lot more responsibility than they did in Dave Canales' offense, so we're going to need to see a step up from everyone in that room, Otten included, who didn't play last night. Payne Durham, Cade Otten, I feel like they're pretty similar bodies. They're huge, massive dudes, really good in the red zone. Durham, we didn't see him too much last year, but yesterday, like what we saw, there's a little bit of catch and run, being able to use his body to catch the ball. All good stuff from Payne Durham last night. Another guy, second-year guy, gonna need to see take that next step, and I trust that. I trust that from Payne Durham. And the last guy we're going to talk about is Sean Tucker in terms of second-year guys. Sean Tucker, I think everyone believes he's a good runner, but it's just that blocking. He has to figure out that blocking, or it's just not going to work long-term in the NFL. Everyone has to be able to block. Running the ball last night, he looked fantastic. Hitting the holes hard, fast. I think he caught maybe one or two passes. Everything looked good. So really happy with that for Sean Tucker. Hoping that he makes this team. It's obviously Rashad White, Bucky Irving, Chase Edmonds has been out with injury. And then do they add a fourth guy on the roster? Usually 4 running backs, I wouldn't say that's common. So I want it to work for him. I do. It's just, you show your hand as an offense if you're putting Sean Tucker in the game, because you're not going to be putting him in there to block. So if he's in the game, you're running the ball. That's the trouble with Sean Tucker, and it's due to his size primarily, I would say. I hope he can figure it out, because I really do like how he runs the ball. All right, let's get into these rookies, starting off first with Graham Barton. We saw him trading drives with him and Hainsey, going back and forth throughout the first half, I believe it was. Looked good, looked explosive, looked athletic. Shotgun or under center, all clean exchanges. That's especially a big thing that we're looking for after seeing a few mishandled snaps at training camp. So everything was clean in game. Perfect. Love that. Favorite play was easily the Bucky Irving touchdown. Seeing him get to that next level and take on that linebacker while Bucky just gets into the end zone. I mean, that's the athleticism that he can bring to that center position. How quickly he got to that linebacker, that was awesome. And something that we hopefully see many years to come in a Bucs offense. And since we're just talking about that play, let's go to Bucky Irving next. They need to give this guy a 99 acceleration in Madden, because how fast he just naturally can get from 0 to 60 is crazy. It's crazy. And you saw it on every single handoff, and he's not just 0 to 60, run into the back end of an offensive lineman, or 0 to 60, missed a hole. No, he's somehow patient with it as well, and he's hitting the holes that he needs to hit. The run game just in general yesterday seemed so much more focused, attacked, like there was an idea of what they wanted to do with the run game. It wasn't really just, running because we have to establish a run. Yes, shots are being fired right now. It just felt good. It just felt good to watch mentally, and somehow physically I left that game feeling better watching it. Yeah. You can see his vision, you can see his change of direction. I'll throw a couple highlights up here for you. And the guy's center of balance is just, it has to be like 95th percentile. Like, it is that good. And that's why he had the most broken tackles in all of college football last season, is because of that center of balance. Despite being a smaller back, when he gets hit, he can recalibrate, find that center of balance, stay on his feet, and keep going. And so excited for what Bucky's going to bring. Staying on offense, Jalen McMillan pretty much carrying over what he's been doing in training camp. Only got 2 targets, 2 catches. One of them he was able to catch and run a little bit. The second one was shorter, but it was honestly more impressive in my opinion. Man all over his back, he's able to catch a strong hot pass from Kyle Trask, hold on to it with the guy on his back, and that just, it's a glimpse at this guy's catching ability. And I keep comparing him to Chris Godwin in terms of that physical ability to catch the ball, whether it's low, high, to the side, whatever it may be. His hands are off the charts, and with a guy all over his back like that, I'll slow that one down. Quality stuff. I feel like we've seen so many training camp highlights from Jalen McMillan, like seeing him do it in the game, I was like, yeah, I've already seen him do that, even though he hasn't played a game in a Bucs uniform yet. It's crazy. And before we go to defense, let's hit on Elijah Klein and Devin Culp real quick. Klein, I thought, was solid. He played a pretty good amount of snaps, held it down, didn't get pushed around despite of being from a smaller school like UTEP, was able to hold his own, and with how the run game was all night long, he contributed to that. Shout out to Elijah Klein. Now probably being the backup at that left guard position. The depth chart did come out. I don't believe in these preseason depth charts. Can't lie to you. But Ben Bredesen will probably be the starter at left guard, and with Sue Opeta tearing his ACL, Elijah Klein is in there for these backup positions. So 6th-round pick, playing solid, doing well in preseason. That's all you're really looking for. I haven't heard that much about him during training camp, so being able to see this, I was happy to see it. Devin Culp, solid game. It was interesting to see how they use him, because he brings a completely different dynamic to that tight end room that we've already talked about a little bit. Otten and Durham, similar body type, similar playing style, similar in just what they bring to offense in general. Devin Culp is pretty much completely different, and we saw Liam Cohen making use of that, putting him inside, outside, in the slot, like everywhere. And that's just that athletic ability from a tight end position, running 4.47. Cohen's trying to make use of that. But yeah, that 4.47 speed is something no one else has in that room, so we will see how far it can take him as that 7th round pick. Now going over to the defensive side, Braswell we'll start with. Not too much to say about Braswell. Just seemed pretty quiet while he was out there. He had a couple pressures, but no splash plays, just 1 tackle on the night. First game, so expectations limiting that. That first drive, the Bengals came out with their starting offense while the Bucs had their backups in. I would love to really see Chris Braswell out there with the likes of Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey, Yaya Diaby, because then he will no longer be the focus, as he was probably last night for that Bengals offensive line. They're saying that's their 2nd-round pick. Let's put some focus on him, where obviously in a real game situation, they're going to have to put more focus on a Vita Vea, a Kalijah Kancey, and a Yaya Diaby. That leaves up openings for Chris Braswell. So I would really like to see him in those type of situations, hopefully in one of these next 2 games. But it was a pretty quiet first game for Chris Braswell. And then the last rookie here will be Tyke Smith, who started the game pretty rough, giving up a catch, and then that pass interference call on 3rd and 17, just too aggressive, playing the receiver, didn't turn around and try and play the ball. Not what you want to see from a secondary position. It happens to the best of them though, and he was able to turn that around and have a heck of a game, finishing with 5 tackles. Seemed like he was everywhere on the field following that, whether it be in the run game, in the pass game, someone catches the ball, Tyke Smith is right there. Whether he makes the tackle or not, he's in the area, and that's what you're looking for from a nickel. I'd like to see him a little bit more on the blitzing to see what he can bring in that dynamic. But yeah, despite that first drive, I feel like he ended up having a pretty good game. So there's all the rookies. 2 more guys I do want to shout out is J.J. Russell. Probably played the best game defensively out of anyone. I think he had 8 tackles, 1 deflection, almost sacked the quarterback. Like, he had a really good game. He did get some playing time last season. If you remember the name J.J. Russell, due to injury, Levante, Devin, there were some injuries throughout that linebacker room, so J.J. did get some run last season, and I thought he played pretty well just being thrown into those situations. So really good depth right there at that linebacker position when you think about KJ, Levante, Dennis, J.J. Russell. So all good stuff there. And then Keenan Isaac. It's going to be a competition for that final cornerback spot. And the way he played that ball like a wide receiver on that deep interception, spot on. Exactly what you're looking for. Play the ball, not the receiver. That was perfect. So shout out Keenan Isaac. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to be it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of the rookie performances. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Go Bucks. Y'all have a blessed one.